Honorable Hon Ndudi Elumelu, a two-time member of the House of Representatives, can best be described as a man of destiny. When at the initials, he decided to contest the House of Representative elections to represent Anyocha Oshimili Federal Constituency in 2007, most people never thought he could perform, as they saw him as one of those politicians who needed a position for pecuniary gains. On his election in 2007, Honorable Hon Ndudi Elumelu immediately engaged in consultation with stakeholders and community leaders on how best to develop the federal constituency. He set aside selfish interests and desires and embarked on selfless service for the people. He personally invited the communities in the entire federal constituency to rub minds with opinion leaders and to listen to the people's needs and aspirations. That propelled him to embark on meaningful projects that impacted the lives of the people in his first and second term in office as a federal lawmaker. Honorable Hon Ndudi Elumelu did not fail to impress as he built health centers, constructed water boreholes, built town halls, provided transformers and solar street lights in virtually all the communities in Anyocha Oshimili Federal Constituency. He built substations and step-down transformers in Asaba and NEPA permanent site building in Asaba Ila Road. The lawmaker did not stop at that. He also donated 40 Helios pickup vans to former NEPA to help for the maintenance of its infrastructure across the federal constituency instead of shifting the burden to the host communities. In fact, there is no village in the 42 wards and 58 communities in the federal constituency that did not benefit from solar street lights. Apart from infrastructural developments, Honorable Hon Ndudi Elumelu also embarked on human capital development through the awards of scholarships, micro-credit schemes, empowerment of women, men and youths, as well as the provision of employment at the federal and state levels for the teeming youths in his federal constituency. One major achievement of Honorable Hon Ndudi Elumelu was the building of a cottage hospital in Onichuku, which was recently handed over to the Federal Medical Center to act as a referral and to cater for the health needs of the people of Anyocha Oshimili Federal Constituency. He speaks about what propelled him to build the hospital.
When my mother, when we were growing up, she gave us a story how she lost two of her children, one named Dominic and the other one called Chukwu Asioku. And the reason for that loss was because there were no medical care as at that time to cater for her when she put to bed. And for that, of course, she lost them. And she told me that she wishes that no woman at childbirth will suffer same that she suffered. And that kept me thinking. Eventually, I was voted into office. And I asked her, what will you want me to put as a legacy that you will ever, forever cherish as a mother? And she said she will want me to put a small hospital where women will go there, give birth, and they will never lose their children. To me, and I jokingly asked her, so Mama, it's only women and children. How about the men who perform the duty? And she said, okay, I'm free to add men. That informed why we call it Kanidima Cottage Hospital. So the hospital is not only going to take care to mitigate against infant maternal mortality, but also to care for the elderly and everybody, youth, young, and everybody in this environment.
Even the representatives of the federal government who came to take over the hospital were so overwhelmed that they had this to say.
I am opportune to be here ahead to see what is really in this structure. I'm also opportune to move around the entire country to see the facilities in most of the tertiary institutions. I'm telling you with all sincerity, the structure and the advice here is nothing but state of the art. The equipment there here can better seen in most of the tertiary health institutions. I learned that there's a similar institution like this elsewhere. I was opportune to be there. But what is here is something else. What is here is something else. I commend the distinguished Honorable Elumelu for being able to facilitate and ensure that this kind of advice is in this community. It is wonderful. And I'm really sure, because I can now understand the reason why the medical director of FMC is really putting pressure on us to take over this institution. It is nothing but something else. In fact, you will not appreciate what I'm saying until when you enter here. In fact, if I'm sick, I would prefer to be treated here. It is something else.
I can't say enough thank you to Honorable Ndudi Elumelu for thinking out this wonderful edifice that you're seeing here today. We have done a facility tour, and you will agree with me that it's a complete hospital in itself. It has everything that makes a hospital. I want to thank the Honorable Minister of Health, especially for deeming it fit to put this facility to use as soon as it is brought to his notice. As soon as he was informed there was a facility like this, he gave instruction that that facility be put to use immediately. We didn't know we were going to be the beneficiaries. But today we are rejoicing and we are saying that the ultimate winners are the people of Delta State. They are the ones who will enjoy this beautiful facility that has been put here. I want to thank the community, especially the Obi of Onichukwu, members of his cabinet, and the people of Onichukwu. I want to thank you very specially for keeping this facility. Since 2013, this facility has been here and not a pin has been stolen.
Everybody say Ndudi forever. I will. I will. Ndudi Elumelu. I will for Elumelu. I know church family say them love you bad. My gate women say they want you bad. I will for Elumelu. Kicking up them say make you come. I will. Hey, the youths them say make you come. I will for Elumelu. Make you go Abuja for 2019. I will. Elumelu. I will for federal assault. I will. Man of destiny, I will. Ndudi, I will. Now you will like you. I will for Elumelu. Ndudi Elumelu, I will. Now you will. I will. We don't test you. I will for Elumelu. Tested and trusted. I will.
That is why his decision to recontest the House of Representatives election for the Anocho-Shimle Federal Constituency seats should be applauded by all well-meaning sons and daughters of the federal constituency. Some sons and daughters of the federal constituency have described him as a capable, reliable, and dependable person, as well as a team player who is always ready to consult deeply and widely before taking any decisions. One of such persons is Dr. Chris Agbobu, a former minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. It described Hon Ndudi Elumelu as an achiever who needed to be given another chance.
He has been there twice, seeking a third term, like rightly observed. Those 2 terms have been very, very eventful in the lives of our people. It's not just a matter of doling out gifts to people. He also brought amenities that we outlived all of us, either properly maintained. Suddenly, street lights that had become history in our cities and villages. Most hamlets never saw anything like light. He gave us solar lights everywhere in the federal constituency. Many other projects, health centers. He sponsored many bills, which we are aware of. Recently, the hospital, 250 bed hospital. He finished really in 2013 for the community, for the federal constituency.
Also, Chief Mrs. Kate Onyawa, a prominent daughter of Anyocha Shemele Federal Constituency, has this to say about Honorable Elumelu.
Ndudi Elumelu is a wonderful person, a kind gentleman, a man with a heart of gold, a man that loves the very low ones. Because I want to talk about him in regards to what he has really done for persons I know. For example, in my local governments, the ones that don't have houses, he built houses for them. The ones that don't have water, he dug boreholes for them. And the street lights he gave to a lot of streets, a lot of wards, and thereabout. I cannot count what Ndudi Elumelu had done for people. But he's somebody that we should ask to go back, to go there and get things for our constituency. He went the first time, even as a first timer, he had this committee that he headed, which a first timer couldn't have ever headed, but he did. He was the head of that committee, and he was able to attract so much dividends, contracts, projects to our constituency. I think I advise our people to vote wisely and vote for him, because this is the kind of person we need. He will bring all what we need to our constituency.
Others are Douglas Okolotu and Frank Esenwa, who are foremost politicians from the federal constituency, as well as the DG Ndudi Elumelu campaign organization, spoke eloquently about the lawmaker.
I believe that with what he has done when he came the first time and what we saw on ground, for instance, the hospital in his local government in Anyocha, which went through finance, because if you go to that hospital, you see a lot of things there. As a reference hospital, I think he has done something well, and if it's been backed up again, we will do better than that.
Well, the things he's done in his first and second terms are all too evident for us to see. Granted that, we have a poor maintenance culture in our environment here. If you look at my community, for instance, does have the solar street panels. The solar panels, the street lights, solar street lighting, that I know some of them are still showing. What it would have needed over time was that those who are entrusted to manage it should be able to maintain them and keep them running. And we are not talking about some other facilities, infrastructural facilities, that as a legislator has been able to influence to come to the neighborhood, to our neighborhoods here and there. And then I'm also aware of a particular vantage appointment he made. I think it's in the Energy Commission. I can testify to the fact that somebody from my community did benefit from that. I didn't influence it anyway, but I later realized these are little things, or some of the things that he's done, and I'm sure some other persons in other communities can also testify to that. Besides talking about PDP straight away, Elumelu is the right person to go there. We don't need, I don't want to use the word derogatory, non-starters. We would want to use those who know the road. They always say, follow person with Sabi road.
So 1,001 reasons people should vote for Ndudi Elumelu. Presently, I can beat my chest and say in a non-chosen federal constituency is the best we have in the political space for that job. First reason is that he's a determined young man. He tried it the first time, he lost. He was not discouraged. He knew where he was going to and he remained focused. And he continued. At the second time, he emerged and got to National Assembly and proved himself. As a first-timer, he was able to secure a grade A board, which attracted the present step down along Iguzo-Asaba Expressway, and 9 other substations, each worth about 500,000 naira within the federal constituency. He sees the opportunity to lit up every community, at least as a way of checking security and crime in our various communities. Not only that, he touched so many lives. Even though I'm not one of them, but he touched so many lives. And not only in employment, also in scholarship, sending people abroad for treatment. At least he made good use of his state constituency for resources. And this time around, we're also hoping that he will go there and perform the same magic that he did in the past. Meanwhile, coupled with the experience in the past, we expect a better deal this time around for the people of Anatolia. That is why I stake my neck for his coming back.
Honorable Godwin Ndudi Elumelu has not only come to further enhance the well-being and welfare of his people, but also to agitate for and secure more dividends of democracy through active and effective representation. Here, Honorable Godwin Ndudi Elumelu speak on this vision.
I will see myself collaborating with the state government to ensure that we don't duplicate activities or efforts where we can see where they are, what they have done. We can come up and see how we can assist in that regard.
Based on his pedigree, there is no doubt that given another opportunity, Honorable Godwin Ndudi Elumelu will further transform the lives of his people and leave behind more remarkable legacies.
We did a lot in the past 8 years that I was in the house. My first 4 years, saw me bringing so many capital infrastructures into the constituency. You can talk about substations that are scattered all over the federal constituency. You can talk about the step down, which is now in Asaba. It's also I'm instrumental to that. You can talk about the NEPA, which is now called BDEC. Their permanent site where they are. Before now, they were renting an apartment on NABC Road, but I had to go back to the state government then to beg for them to give us land, which they graciously approved. And of course, we put up an edifice, which they are currently using. We also didn't stop at that. We acquired 40 hillhouses, which were scattered all over the 4 local governments. The essence of that was meant to ensure that wherever there are 40 appliances or under NEPA, then that they can go out there to repair them without putting a burden on my constituency or my constituents. Then, of course, we empowered women. We bought sewing machines, gave to women. I initiated the micro credit scheme where women were being empowered to augment what their husband gives them to look after the house. We equally in the 42 wards and 58 communities, if I'm not mistaken, there is no village that we didn't touch in terms of providing solar street lights to such communities. And there were communities also that were attracted town hall, and all these things were done within my first 4 years.
A man of the people and achiever par excellence, with undiluted passion and love for his people's welfare, Honorable Godwin Ndudi Elumelu has a vision to restore the dignity and fortunes of his people. Honorable Godwin Ndudi Elumelu, a man of destiny, has all it takes to once again put a lasting smile on the faces of the people of Anyocha Oshimili Federal Constituency.
Given what we've done in the 2 tenures, we feel that we can do better. So we have quite a lot of things that we think that one can embark on to improve the life of my Anyocha Oshimili people when we get back to that stage.
That is why a vote for Honorable Ndudi Elumelu as the PDP candidate for the Anyocha Oshimili Federal Constituency is a vote for a glorious and enduring future. It is a vote for fresh empowerment of the people, for provision of basic amenities that will enhance the welfare of the people of Anyocha Oshimili Federal Constituency and make life more meaningful and worth living. So, let the people of Anyocha Oshimili do the right thing by voting Honorable Godwin Ndudi Elumelu for the House of Representatives election come 2019.